Are you getting out of the military or retiring? Congrats if you are, but you're wondering, is there anything I should know before I retire or get out if I want to buy a house? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you some huge mistakes that you want to avoid if you are planning on buying a house and at the same time you are in the near future going to be getting out of the military or retiring. These are some big things you want to make sure that you plan for and make sure that you don't screw yourself by not planning accordingly. We're going to cover all of it right now. See you on the other side. All right, guys, like I said, in this video, we're going to cover if you are planning on getting out of the military or retiring and you want to purchase a home. You really want to make sure you don't make these mistakes and plan accordingly so you don't screw yourself because you didn't plan accordingly. So before we jump into that, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Patrick Long. I'm a licensed real estate agent out here in Hawaii and have been for nearly a decade, helping buyers, sellers, investors, and service members like yourself when it comes to buying and selling real estate out here in Oahu. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I got my contact information right here, or you can directly DM me on any of my social media platforms. Now, with that being said, let's go into what it is you want to plan for accordingly if you are getting out of the military or you're retiring to make sure that you still can buy a home in the timeline that you want. So now what we need to understand is, why is this such a big deal and why do I need to plan accordingly? Well, if you are getting out of the military or you are retiring, you are essentially getting away from any sort of payment that you'd be getting from the government or the military. And lenders don't like to see that. They want to make sure that you can make that mortgage payment, and they're going to qualify you based on you having a job. So if you're going to be getting out and you don't have something lined up, or you're retiring and you're obviously not going to be working anymore, there are a couple things you can do to avoid that issue or getting qualified before you get out so you can still buy a home while you're trying to figure it all out. So let's go over the rules. If you're getting out of the military anytime soon, you want to plan accordingly, and so you want to follow the rules. The first rule is you need to have at least 1 year left of service in the military by the time you close on your property. Not when you start shopping for a home, not when you have the idea, but when you close on the property, you need to make sure you have at least 1 year left of service. The second way to get around this rule is if you plan to re-enlist after you get out, you can give that to the lender and they'll still qualify you accordingly. You just need to show them fresh orders or a statement of service from your command or a statement of service from your service member command. Other things you can keep in mind is if you have a spouse or a dependent who's actually working, you can use their income to help qualify for utilizing that VA loan as well. If you have any VA disability and you're getting income from that VA disability, you can also use that to qualify. And lastly, if you are getting a civilian job, as long as you have a non-conditional offer to get a job when you get out, the lender will utilize that to qualify you accordingly. And I would suggest it would be in your best interest to have some kind of a game plan. There's nothing worse than getting yourself into a home and saying, hey, I'll figure out what I'm going to do for a job and pay for that mortgage once I get out. It's always good to pre-plan, and that's what we're discussing today. Now, for my retirees, first of all, thank you so much for your service. You've done a killer job. You've been in for 20 plus years, and I want to thank you for that. But we need to plan accordingly and understand what you can do when it comes to buying a home if you're retiring and, of course, you're not working. Now, again, all the things I mentioned before, you can utilize yourself using your spouse's income. If you have any disability, if you are planning on retiring out of the military but getting a civilian job, those are all things that can help qualify. And then additionally, because you're retiring, one of the main benefits is you're going to get retirement income, and the lender can utilize that and qualify you for purchasing a home with that VA loan, 0 down. So that's the quick and dirty of things you want to look out for if you're planning on getting out or retiring, and how you can pre-plan accordingly to make sure that you can buy a home once you get out. So make sure that you look into that. And of course, if you have any questions or you need someone to help review your ETS, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to assist you. I've got my contact information right here, or once again, you can directly DM me on any of my social media platforms. Now, if you got any value out of this content, if you guys could do me a huge favor, if you could smash that like button as well as click the subscribe and notification bell so you get notified whenever I drop videos just like this, I would greatly appreciate it. Again, guys, I'm Patrick with PatrickLongRealty.com, powered by eXp Realty. Hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.